I don't like my hands very much. They seem a bit like the remnants of all the cardboard boxes I've broken down in the back room of the Vashon Pharmacy. There's something rough-hewn about them, a little worn, a little battered, a little recycled. Much like all the cardboard boxes from that candle company in Akron. It's a small company, you know, and they can't afford glamorous boxes like those Hallmark ones. They save 5 cents a box going recycled through 2 or 3 lives, and those savings, they add up quickly, but the true cost shows on the hands. I didn't like that day very much. It seemed to drag on forever. Hardly a customer showed up to help, to save me from this eternity feeling. And there wasn't even enough cardboard to camouflage my hands. So I hid myself in a dazed scene, dreaming a Tetracycline Dream, infused by some pill counter wishes, taking the pills 5 at a time until they add up to something, dropped in a bottle and taken twice a day until they become nothing or just a memory. I don't know how long I dreamed. It must have been forever, though, or at least until the night fell and the elderly couple walked through the door, waltzing to some ageless music that only they heard as they inched frailly down the aisles and were soon lost in a sea of toilet paper, Epsom salt, and enteric-coated aspirin. The lady would call out some inane comment just to make sure he was still there after all these years, trailing behind her. 60 years ago, we could have bought a whole wardrobe for what they charge for a pair of socks. And he would just mumble back his time-tested reply and continue his stumbling, whistled remembrance to 60 years ago. I don't know how long it took them, but it seemed like forever, as they paused every few feet and their eyes met, speaking in silent serenity with years of words, like parishioners admiring St. Michael's, finding some revelation in the stained glass or in the pews filled with cough suppressants. And forever passed until they stood before me and dropped a few things she knew they needed, but he knew they already had, with a few Social Security dollars on the counter. It only took an instant to ring them up, as a woman talked about the endless rain and what it was doing to her gardenias. I handed the woman her 41 cents, and she turned, noticing her husband once again, and the youthful mirth in his hazel eyes. And she just chuckled and nodded and said, "I noticed too, 41 cents, just like our year, 1941. As they turned and walked towards the door, I swore I saw a slight lift in the man's step, a quick step in his patient waltz, an off-key verse of just remembered joy. But as they were about to leave my sight, the man turned slightly and smiled and waved his rough-hewn hand, a hand that reminded me so much of all those recycled cardboard boxes from that small company, that tiny dream in Akron. And I thought about his life and all the lives worn on his hands, and I discovered patience. In that moment I knew that my life would come together, that one day it would all add up, if someone found in my hands what I saw in his and recognized their worth. So I keep on dreaming, slowly, at 5 cents a box.